I've actually wanted to make this video for a while, but I knew that the Story So Far had a new album coming out this year, and then it came out, then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make it. Then I was like, you know what, I gotta let this sink in a little bit before I give my opinion and rank these albums worst to best with my chest. What is going on, my mates? Hope everyone has been extremely well today. If for some reason you're watching this and you haven't like subscribed yet, it'd be a lot cooler if you did, but if you don't, that's okay. I just hope you're having a good day. I'm sure that you saw the title, so you know what we're gonna be talking about today, but I'm just over here by this lake that I live at, or not, I don't live at the lake, I live near a lake. It's called River Lakes. So yeah, I mean, if you're ever in Bakersfield and want to stop by River Lakes Lake, there's a good chance that I won't be here, but there's a chance that I might be here. But if I'm not here, just go to my house. Alrighty, my mates, this list is of course going to consist of 4 albums because that's how many they've released. So this is gonna basically be a top 4, and I'm gonna start from worst and then work all the way up to the best. So let's do it. So I've been listening to the Story So Far since like late 2011. So I feel like my opinion is interesting because I've had a lot of time to listen to their music and digest it, with the exception of Proper Dose, of course, because that just came out 3 months ago. In 4th place, we have, okay, before I say it, I know I'm gonna get some flack for this. I know I'm gonna get a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Some people might agree, some people definitely will not. But I think that objectively, meaning not even influencing this by my personal feelings, I think that their self-titled is their weakest album. I really do believe that. And subjectively as well, meaning my own personal feelings, but just looking at their albums as a whole without any personal feelings involved, I really do feel like this one is the weakest. I remember it came out and it just didn't strike me like the other ones. I know that is somewhat of a personal thing, of course. And I don't even completely hate the album. One time on Instagram I said that I think it's almost unlistenable, and I think I would like to retract that statement. I think that was a little bit too harsh, but they definitely do have some good tracks on this album. Actually, one of my favorite songs that they've ever put out, called Solo, and if you've heard that song, you know why. It's super catchy. It's just got this kind of groove to it, and it's just rhymes and rhymes and rhymes. Yeah, you should really check it out if you haven't, but if you're watching this, I assume that you listen to them already. But yeah, Nerve is also a really good track. Heavy Gloom is pretty solid. The opening track it's pretty decent, but overall I really do believe that this is their weakest album. I feel like people could at least get behind me on that. I know a lot of people loved this album, but I just do not think it is their best work. Oh, and by the way, I'm sure people are going to do this no matter what, regardless, but down below in the comments, make sure to rank the albums from worst to best, or however you want to rank them, do that. Okay, so here's where it could get a little bit dicey. Here's where I could see some people seriously, strongly disagreeing with me, and in fact, I know that's going to happen for our number 3 album, and this is just getting like really hard for me at this point, because like these next 3 albums, Proper Dose, Under Soil and Dirt, and What You Don't See, are just it's so hard for me. But okay, are you ready? Number 3 on this list is What You Don't See by The Story So Far. Now, this album came out when I was a sophomore in high school, 2013. I remember, so you'd switch periods in for classes, right? You know, that's obviously everyone does that. But yeah, so I went into the bathroom for like the 3 or 5 minutes that we had the break for whatever. I remember I downloaded a leak for the album, because if you remember, it leaked like kind of early, and I just remember listening to Things I Can't Change and then Stifled, and I was like, wow, this is going to be really, really good. And because Right Here was such a good single, I remember when that came out, I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I absolutely do love this album. And like I said, it's just so hard for me to just say one way or the other with these 3 that I'm talking about right now. But What You Don't See is an incredible album. Some of my favorite tracks off of it are The Glass, Stifled, the last track called Framework. I believe that's the last track. Face Value is good. Bad Luck is good. Things I Can't Change is good. Yeah, I don't even know. Like, most of the songs on that album are incredibly solid. I thought it was an outstanding follow-up to what, or no, I thought it was an outstanding follow-up to Under Soil and Dirt, the best possible way that they could have followed it up, but their album after that didn't seem to progress much after that. So yes, What You Don't See is number 3, but don't think it's because I don't like it. It is simply just because it is so difficult for me to determine just my choosings. Alrighty, are you ready for the number 2 pick to be revealed? I'm like, okay, I'm kind of nervous to say, well, actually I'm not nervous, but I know that once I say the number 2 pick, you're automatically gonna know the number 1 pick. So here we go. Number 2 on this list. It's coming down to Under Soil and Dirt or Proper Dose. And number 2 on this list is Proper Dose by The Story So Far. This album really took me by surprise. I was so happy with the way that it came out. It just feels like the band has grown up, but in the best possible way, because I know when bands get older, they tend to get more mature and change their sound a little bit. And it's changed a little bit on this, but I feel like it's just natural progression. I know some people were a little bit upset because the record didn't have that same angry, aggressive edge, but you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over and writing the same style of lyrics and just the same kind of music and everything. And honestly, I think that's why I didn't like the self-titled very much. Some people accused me of, as far as the self-titled goes and me not liking it, they're like, oh, you just don't like when bands progress and change their sound. I'm like, no, quite the contrary, actually, because I feel like the self-titled was just like, okay, they're like, Under Soil and Dirt was pretty good. Then they're like, let's follow it up with What You Don't See, which was like, okay, that's a really good follow-up, But then I felt like they're like, can we just do the same thing like one more time? And it just didn't really work. Again, that might not be how you view it, but personally that's how I view it. I just love Proper Dose so much. It actually has some of my favorite songs that The Story So Far has ever written. For example, Upside Down is actually my favorite Story So Far song ever, and that says a lot because I've been listening to them for a good amount of years now, and that's just really crazy to me. Out of It is one of my favorite songs by them. Take Me As You Please, even Let It Go is really good to me. All the tracks are good. I feel like this album is very, very balanced because they still have the fast stuff, they still have the really slow acoustic tracks, then they kind of have like the more upbeat, almost full band tracks that are super duper good. I don't know. I love this album to death, and I'm just so excited with the way that it came out because once again, I was a little bit nervous just based on how much I liked their self-titled, which was not that much. But man, my mate, I sure do love this freaking album. And I know a lot of people did, but I know a lot of people didn't, mostly just because the aggression was gone and other factors. I don't know, I'm sure that's not the only thing. But yeah, Proper Dose is an incredible album, and that's why it's number 2 on this list. Alrighty, my mates, number 1. I don't even have to say it. You knew as soon as I said number 2 is Proper Dose. I don't think many people are surprised. I don't think many people are even going to disagree with this. I think this will be the top one on many people's list. Under Soil and Dirt by The Story So Far, an absolute pop punk masterpiece. Iconic. I have not heard an album come out this good since a long time. Something that did rival it, in my opinion, was The Finer Things by State Champs, but still no. Under Soil Dirt just has so many good songs on it, so many iconic one-liners. It's insane. And to commemorate how much I love this album, and I just love talking about how much I love music in general. I'm sure you figured that out. But I'm just gonna go through each track and just state why I like it so much. States and Minds, perfect way to kick off the album. High energy. Parker is just belting out, oh, I'm falling in and out again. You know what I mean? Freaking, are you kidding me? That's just ridiculously pop punk, dude. Give Up and Go Home Alone and Suffer Some More. Like, how could you not like that song? Quicksand, it pulls me under. I don't know. This song is just iconic. Quicksand, now this is one of their first music videos that really blew up, and I don't know, man. I just love this song so much. Swords and Pens, Not Broke, Just Bent. If you listen to pop punk, you've seen that on a shirt or heard it before. Or Bury Me, I'm Not Your Friend. High Regard, oh my gosh. This High Regard is one of the best pop punk songs of the last 10 years. The Story So Far were really ahead of their time with how much they hated their ex, or how much Parker hated his ex. Daughters is an incredibly good song and gives some good analysis and perspective to girls that party and men who treat them poorly. And I don't know, I just think it's a really important song because it gives a lot of perspective. If you haven't looked at the lyrics, I strongly suggest that you do so because it's very interesting the way that Parker talks about it. Mount Diablo, another iconic song with an iconic line, watch the sunrise over Mount Diablo. I know some kids want to go there literally just because of the Story So Far. I would probably go there. I've actually looked it up. It looks pretty cool. 4 Years, I didn't really, I did relate to the song when I first heard it, but I think I was a freshman in high school when I first heard it, so like it didn't resonate the way that it does. I don't know, after you've graduated high school and lived life a little bit, become an adult, according to the government. But yeah, this song is all about growing up, leaving your friends, etc., and just, starting a job and how boring that is and all that good stuff. Rally Cap, this is just a short little bop. I don't know, it's really good. It's really catchy. Placeholder is somewhat of like an acoustic track on here. I don't know, I really love the lyricism on this one. It's just really good.
This body's closed until further notice.
I thought that that was really cool the first time I heard it. I was like, wow, it's a good way to say that. And lastly, we have Closure, which is actually the perfect closer for the album. It's, I don't know, I kind of forget the lyrics to this one, to be completely honest. Or wait, no, say what you need to say for the last. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, yeah, this is actually a really, really good song. It's really, really catchy. I feel like it does give me like some weird sense of closure, even though it shouldn't. My mates, here we are at the end of the video. As always, thank you so much if you took time out of your day to watch this, and of course you did if you're listening to this right now. If you're watching this and for some crazy reason you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, I implore you to do so. It is free, and you'll join Mates Club, and you'll know when we post new videos. Well, maybe. If you hit the bell, you for sure will. But anyway, my mates, you know how much I appreciate you. Mates Club drop at the end of this month. If you want to follow me on social media, go right ahead. I hope you enjoyed this list. If you didn't, let me know. If you did, let me know. If you really just hate me, make a video about why you hate me. I don't know. Just have a good day.